genders are actually reversed. He knows I've been browsing this sub lately, and I'd prefer it if he didn't find this. I'm ready to break up with my boyfriend of 16 years, but am not sure how. He has suffered from depression all his life, and self-end isn't new to his family. He never graduated high school, doesn't have a license, and has no job experience other than a minimum wage job his mom got for him in his early 20s that lasted a couple years. That was over 10 years ago. It's clear to me he is not interested in those things, even for us. None of his family or close friends are particularly well off or in a position to support him. I feel like a bad person, but I don't see a future together that I want. I just wish I'd come to this realization sooner. We have no kids, only 3 cats. We're not married, and everything is in my name, house, car, bills, etc. Only thing I can think of is he's in the bank account, but I doubt he'd have the ambition or means to do anything with it. I'd probably give him half our money, about $5,000, and maybe something for the house. We've paid off about $40,000 of it. Or technically, I have. He's finally started seeing someone for his depression the last few months, and I worry ending things will mean he'll stop that too. I still care very much for him, but I can't keep supporting him, and our relationship has been very strained this past year. How do I break up? I don't want to completely abandon him and take everything. I want him to have the opportunity to get the help he needs. Update. I told him I wanted to break up, said this wasn't the life I wanted, and that I gave his sister a heads up and she's available if he wants to talk. I'd like to sort out logistics later, and we can use our couples session this Thursday to work on any sticking points. Then I left the house. He wants to know why now. Why can't I give him a chance to work on it? Why can't we work through this, etc. I had to leave, or I'm going to start saying things I regret or break down. Not sure when to go back, but hey, it's Pokemon Go Community Day, so I won't be bored. What can I say? I'm an optimist, and this is me looking for the bright side. I'm feeling a bit heartbroken right now, but thank you for all the support and encouragement. It's been really helpful to me. Update. Sorry for calling you fuckwads for upvoting. It was meant to be a joke. I lovingly call my friends that because the word is funny and meant it similarly here. I didn't expect this post to be so popular or hit the front page. I had planned to delete it, but seeing all the advice and hearing so many people with similar stories, I'm going to leave it up. It's not that I'm ashamed or trying to hide anything I wrote. It's just I know this post would hurt him. I knew the risk of posting online, and the title is different enough, he may not even click if he sees it. We're 33, and he's not interested in relationship drama posts. I'll try to post other updates too. I appreciate all the encouragement. It means a lot to me and helps keep me strong in my decision. Sorry if I don't have time to reply to everyone. And if my boyfriend or family friends find this, I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anyone with this post, but this is me reaching out for emotional support from internet strangers because there's nobody close I can talk to and get emotional support from that isn't also close to him or wouldn't be biased towards our relationship. I'd rather you didn't read this. Update. He's gone to stay with someone and asked me not to touch his stuff. No logistics have been discussed except it sounds like I won't see him for a bit. I've cried a lot, but I'm feeling lighter for it. Have been messaging a couple people from family and shared friends a bit. They all heard from him first, except his sister who I gave a heads up to, with no details. It's hard at the moment, feeling they're all on his side and hearing their thoughts about it. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I want these people to be there for him when I'm not. He doesn't make friends easily. I'm not sure I should keep airing personal drama on the internet to strangers, but it is helping me right now. Gives me people to talk to and encouragement. Not sure how healthy it is in the long run, so someone tell me if it isn't good for me. I'm tired and think I can sleep now, having been restless the past few nights as I sorted this all out. We'll try to respond to questions later. Update. I really appreciate all the support. It's more than I can read at once, but means there's always new things to read when I need it, and I've needed a lot of it. He's back and staying in a separate room for now. This is his home too. I'm not going to force him out the first night when I've already ruined his life. I plan to keep my distance, but I'm not the kind of person that can ignore my best friend of 16 years when he really needs someone. So yes, I sat with him through a rough patch tonight, and we talked a bit afterwards. He knows he up. I'm firm in my decision that this separation is happening though, and told him I want it done by the end of the month. If he's serious about wanting to change, he needs to do it elsewhere for himself, not here or for me. Also, I'm seeing a lot of questions about if I'd take him back if he truly changed to be the man I needed. I don't know. I'm not ready for any new relationship anytime soon, but if he thinks he can sort his life out, I'd give him a second chance date to see what changed when I'm ready to go looking again. I know the chance is slim and there's no guarantees, but he could show me the new him and we'd talk. He's been my best friend for 16 years, and I still care a lot about him and think he is an amazing guy. We grew up together and been through a lot. I don't regret most of it. It's just that people change, and I changed. I'm the one that was okay with this living arrangement for so long, and I'm the one that changed to realize I was not okay with it anymore too. And to be clear, this isn't about him not having a job or suffering from depression or any one thing. Maybe for some it is, but that's not who I am. I want a partner in life. And it's not a partnership when one person starts to feel they have all the burden of deciding where life is going and working towards those goals. And the other is argumentative and resentful when asked to help both with deciding life goals and working towards them. And is not supportive when their partner goes through a change and is reaching out to find the new normal. This has been our last year primarily. The previous 15 were mostly good as we stumbled through life together. I want someone at my side in life who will make and work towards our shared goals, not someone I have to fight and drag along. Thank you for all the stories and support. They have really helped me both in coping and in staying firm in my decision. I'll probably stop updating this post. It's getting pretty long. Maybe I'll start a new one once things are more finalized. Update. It's been over a day, and harder than I thought. I thought my tears would be done by now. The optimist in me keeps looking for the path back, the one where he becomes the person I need. I miss and love him so much. But I've made my decision, and now it's time for both of us to move on, in our own ways. The support here keeps me going. I can't tell you all how much I appreciate it. It's going to be a rough few weeks, but I can do this. I keep rereading comments and reminding myself to look to the future, not the past. Like it or not, internet strangers are my coping mechanism. I feel like this post is my diary now. Is that allowed? The lack of support for me has been hard. Only his mom has asked how I've been and wanted my side. I think she understands. We were private people, only had his mom, his two sisters, and his childhood friend, and his wife. I knew it would be like this, wanted it this way even. I'm not close with my family, but have reached out to my sister to talk. But I still find it easier to talk to internet strangers than people I know. Maybe I'll ask my therapist if he knows why that is. He's, I think, out of the house for good now. Not sure, but I told him either he goes or I find a temp apartment this week. He left while I was sleeping and hasn't been back. I haven't tried to find out where, but knowing the guy he is, he left for me. He's a good guy. I wish I had said a better goodbye. Given him that goodbye hug he wanted last night when he broke down and faced reality. I know it's better this way. I can't be the one there for him now. It hurts, but I know it's for the best. Update, it's the end of the third day, and I didn't have any big emotional breakdown today. I consider that progress. Some smaller tearful events, but no breakdowns. Each time it happens, I try to identify the cause. Usually it's loneliness, or thinking of how much hurt I've caused someone. It's hard not to miss him, but I feel a lightness about being free. And I'm still firm in my knowledge that it's the right thing to do. Bank accounts are separated, accounts rearranged, legal stuff like insurance taken care of. My stove is cleaner than it's ever been. I'm still doing baby steps, one thing at a time. I have a therapy appointment tomorrow to talk to someone, and we have a couples appointment Thursday to start talking about splitting up assets. I've barely seen or talked to him since I broke it off. I don't want to push about splitting up assets or what to do with his stuff just yet. I said he'd have a month to finish everything, and figured we could talk about it Thursday. I really need him to take his cat, though. She's heartbreaking to look at. Misses him so much, not eating much. She's 20 pounds and loves food. He stopped for a change of clothes yesterday, and she sat in the kitchen watching the door for a while, waiting for him to return rather than eating her food that I just gave her. I try to show her extra love, but I can tell she misses him, and he probably misses her. I've taken to writing a lot, either to other Redditors that reached out to offer support or just rereading and replying to comments here. And writing in a private diary document. It's very therapeutic to write it out and be able to go back to reread reasons for everything. For example, if I start thinking maybe I could have tried another ultimatum, I can just go back and reread what happened the first time I gave one. Or if I get to feeling I could have tried harder, I can go back and read all the things I did try over the past year. Writing it out and talking to others really does help. Top comments. Somebody said, "We can't be functional for other people. No matter how hard it is, he has to figure out how to stand on his own 2 feet." The problem really is that after 16 years of having you in his life, he never tried. Someone said, "I'd gently advise, whatever happens, that you do everything you can to avoid a 'we've broken up but you can still live with me until you find a place' situation. It'll give him hope you're both going to work out, it'll allow him to remain in denial about his life situation, and it'll leave you feeling like you can't move on. Far worse for him than a clean break will be the fading hope that you'll get back together, or even worse, watching you start to get your life together and move on while he's stuck sleeping on the sofa." Original poster replied, "Thank you. I had a month deadline in mind for him to sort out where he's going and move all his stuff out. I'm hoping we can do that sooner though." A commenter replied, "I'm not sure if this was discussed elsewhere in the comments, but I really disagree that you should pay him out on half the home. If what you say is correct, you've made every mortgage payment. It's not like you have kids at home that he is supporting. If anything, he owes you money for living for free for the past decade. You worked for years to build that equity. It's yours." Original poster replied, "I'm considering this. I was the one interested in getting a house, looked for one, arranged to purchase it, and made payments on it. He was not even interested in seeing it beforehand to help make a decision, just said, 'Do what I want,' and he trusted my judgment. I'm now thinking of just giving him a flat amount instead, not half. He updated the bathroom, patio, and has done most of the maintenance tasks over the years. After talking to him, he brought up that thought, the same thing. 50-50 was not fair. We'll sort through this. There's a reason I've been with him this long. He's a good guy. And to those saying he deserves nothing, I disagree. We've had a good 15 years building our life together, with the understanding from both parties for many years that he didn't have to work. Swap genders and reevaluate that thought. Maybe that's the right choice for some, but it's not right for me and us. If he wanted 50-50, I wouldn't fight it very hard." Another commenter said, "I was kind of a useless, dependent, depressed, and basically a piece of crap in my mid-20s. My girlfriend of 8 years got tired of it and left me out of the blue. I was devastated for months. Ended up getting my crap together when I knew there was nobody else to depend on besides myself. My life is a complete 180 from what it was. I'm married to an amazing woman, 2 beautiful, intelligent daughters, house, cars, stable job, healthy and happy. Her leaving was the best thing that could have happened to me. The funny thing is that me and that ex-girlfriend are still really great friends. Life is too short to waste. Do what's right for you." Original poster replied, "Thank you. I really hope this is something I can hear from him in the future. Gives me hope that there is a chance for him if he can take it week 6-7 update. Hello, thanks for checking in. It's been almost 7 weeks, and I have discovered I like being single. It was a rough time for a while, but I think things are settling down now. I never realized just how many decisions I would make with him in mind, whether it be what I ate, where I went, what I wore, or even what I said. I went straight from my parents' house at 18 into his house, and have never lived on my own before. It is a new feeling to only care about what I think and want, and my cats, and to only live for myself right now. Life seems to move quite fast now that I'm not limiting myself. I've been busier than I've ever been, between cleaning and prepping the house for selling, looking at new potential houses, investigating a potential new job, preparing for some trips within the next few weeks, and making new connections and friends within the community. I got much more involved with some of the social networks at work and joined a meetup app for my area to make new friends. I've discovered I really enjoy the board game groups in my area, and there are a ton of people that I feel are my people to make new friendships with. My ex moved in with a friend in another state about a month ago, and I have not heard from him since then, except for one call asking if there was any possibility of a second chance. He was telling me how he's been changing and will continue to change to be anything I want as long as I'm back in his life. But I realized I did not want that. It's too much of a burden being the sole source of someone else's motivation for living or happiness. I told him at this time, no. I have no idea where I will be in 5 years, but I feel like this past 15-year relationship is done, and it is time to move on. If, and that is a really big if, something were to change and we somehow ended up together again, it would be as new people in a new relationship. Update. It was the hardest thing I think I have ever done, but it's done. I think we found some kind of closure today, and I figured I owed you guys an update. Starting back last Sunday, 9 days ago, when I decided to break up. Once I had made the decision, I called his sister to make sure she would be available that evening and gave her a quick heads up, then sat down with him and told him I wanted to break up. It was very hard, knowing that it was a one-sided feeling and watching the pain I caused. I tried my best to answer his questions, but in the end, just had to settle with the inadequate. It's not you, it's me. I didn't want the same things in life that he did, and I was not happy with the path we were on now. Based on all our struggles this past year and a more recent big argument, I did not see a way to continue forwards that did not lead to misery and resentment for one or both of us, and a long drawn-out breakup that ended with no good memories left. I saw that happen to my parents' relationship and knew I did not want that for us. So I had to leave. I did my best to give him space so he could process everything, but still be available in case there was anything I could do to ease the process. And although it sometimes broke my heart to see the pain I was causing, I also had to be very firm with him that this separation was happening. It was what I wanted. I can be a weak person, and it was a struggle not to go to him and try to ease his pain. Some people have suggested breaking it off with no contact, but I found that just wasn't something I could do right away. We're not like that, and it would have caused even more pain. Also, we have a life of 15 years built together, and we needed some kind of communication to separate everything. I told him I wanted everything to be sorted out and finished by the end of the month, and it was up to him on if he'd prefer to find a place to stay or if I should find a rental for the month. He ended up leaving to stay with family. He's a good guy like that. There's a reason we've lasted together this long. This past week was tough. I did my best to give him space and not push any communication or checkups on him. I had to keep reminding myself that it wasn't my place anymore. I had regular breakdowns, and sometimes still do, as I grieved for what is no more, and had my moments of self-doubt and insecurity. In those times, I found going back to what I had written down about all the reasons we wouldn't work together, and all my attempts at trying this last year really helped me move past those moments. I did more cleaning than I have ever done in my life as well, and focused on caring for myself and moving forwards one day at a time. Overall, each day is a little easier than the last, and I know I did the right thing for myself. He came back a few times this weekend to collect a bunch of his things, and I mostly tried to stay away or leave the house as I could see the pain he was going through trying to separate our stuff. I had no concerns about him trying to take more than what was his, or trying to screw me over in any way. Then today, when he came by for his stuff, he told me it was the last I'd see of him. He's moving to another state, so this was goodbye. Today was tough. It was the first time we had really talked much since the day when I broke up with him, and his words made all my self-doubt and insecurities come flooding back. He kept saying he was changing, and he just needed more time and another chance. That he didn't mean those things he said when we were fighting, and he actually did want the same future I did. I feel like I am so very much in love with the potential I can see in him, but for all his words and promises, I keep reminding myself it's his actions that matter, and this past year has not been filled with very many actions. Maybe that would change now that he's had his wake-up call, but maybe not. I can't keep going through life waiting for that to happen, or threatening to leave the relationship if changes don't happen fast enough. And I know I really need some time to be single and just figuring out myself for a while. So we ended up both crying and hugging and saying goodbye. If there's ever a second chance in store for us, it will have to be down the road. I'll probably try for no contact starting now that we've said our goodbyes. There's still the house to sort out, but I can always go through his mother for that. I've decided to give him 25% of whatever I get selling it, or $10,000 if I keep it and rent it out. I plan on moving, but am not entirely sure where yet. This is the path I've chosen to take through life, and I'm going to try my best to keep moving forwards and not look back. I wanted to say thank you to the Reddit community for all the support you gave me throughout this. It meant more than I can say to have people to talk to who had gone through similar situations and all the encouragement and support. I felt like I owed an update of what ended up happening. If anyone is ever in a similar situation, feel free to message me anytime to talk about your troubles, no matter how rambling they are. I know I did that to many people here, and it was an immense help to me. I'd like to be able to offer the same to others. And for the many people who will inevitably question about the title being wrong still, it's simply because I did not want to have a title that screams, "This is about you, click me," if this hits the front page again. It's not about trying to hide this post or be deceptive. I just want to limit the potential hurt to him as much as I can, and know this kind of title is less likely to be clicked on by him.